We are on the go with Joe, and today one local family welcomes Joe to their nightmare, you could say. Today is Halloween, of course, and that means that the Davis family in Milwaukee will host a frightening good time. Joe joins us live to tell us about the Davis graveyard. Ooh, Joe.
Oh, it's scary, kids. Yeah, hey, Pete, how you doing? It really is actually pretty scary. We are in the front yard, believe it or not. It looks like a graveyard, but that is because it is the front yard of Mr. Jeff Davis. Good morning to you, and the Davis graveyard. Jeff, this is very impressive. This is the second time I've seen the Davis graveyard. You guys, to see you guys go all out on Halloween would be a major understatement. Tell us a little bit about kind of the tradition that you created here and all the work you put into putting on a very happy Halloween.
It started out as just some yard decorations, a couple of tombstones that my wife put up, and everybody liked them, so we kept doing more and more. And over the years, we've just kind of built more and more and more, and it's become this really elaborate yard display that everybody comes and watches.
How much time do you spend putting this all together? I mean, folks, you're only seeing part of it right now. I mean, literally, this thing stretches, all over the place. How long does it take to put this whole thing together?
Well, it's 10 years in the making, so we didn't do it all at once, but we can set it up in a weekend, but we work every weekend in the summertime building new props and replacing old stuff.
My goodness. Now, you guys are obviously welcoming folks to come out, check out your display, and you even got some kind of fun activities going on here today for Halloween, right?
Right. The Milwaukee High School dancers are performing here from 6 to 9 p.m. tonight, doing their Thriller number.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
So everybody can watch and enjoy that, too.
So tell us where you're located here in Milwaukee.
We're on the corner of Johnson Creek and Southeast 43rd. The house number is 8703.
Very good. If you want, we've got more information about the Davis Graveyard and a link to their website at kptv.com, so check that out.
Joe joins us live from Milwaukee to tell us about the Davis Graveyard. Hi, Joe.
Oh, Julie, it was a dark and rainy night, or morning, I guess, in this case. We are with Jeff Davis once again, the man behind the Davis Graveyard here at his home in Milwaukee. One of the most elaborate Halloween setups that you'll see in the entire country. In fact, they just got a special recognition. We're going to talk about that in just a sec. But as we've been showing, Jeff, you do this yourself. I mean, these are tombstones that you built and all the stuff. You didn't pick the stuff at the spooky store or whatever, right?
Right. Everything here is handmade. We've all made all the tombstones, carved them by hand ourselves. About 4 or 5 of us work on it throughout the summer. And
even some of the more high-tech displays they got here, there's some, I guess, headstones that kind of talk, or busts, or whatever you want to call it. And then there's even some, I don't know what you would call it, but step to the side if you would here, Jeff. Look at that right there. We've got like some sort of spooky specter poking out of this mausoleum here. And that's something you did right there?
Yeah, we do all the video. I do all the video effects. Some friends of ours let us film them, and then we turn them into the ghosts in our yard.
And check it out. He just found out that you guys were named the top Halloween display by the Today Show. Yeah. Is that right? In the country. They had like online voting and you guys won.
Yeah, they had a list of photos of yards, and ours was one of 3. And people voted on it, and as of yesterday, we were the #1 display in the country.
Well-deserved spooky stuff. Tell us where you're located here in Milwaukee so people can come and check you out in person.
We're on the corner of Johnson Creek and 43rd, Southeast 43rd. The house number is 8703.
More information at kptv.com. Come if you dare. All right. Julie, let's go ahead and send it back to you in the studio.
I don't know what's scarier, the grave.
Davis Graveyard. And Joe, I'm thinking that these folks take Halloween very seriously, do they not?
Yeah, that may be a bit of an understatement there, Pete. Yeah, good morning once again here with Jeff Davis, the man behind the Davis Graveyard. For 10 years here at their home in Milwaukee, they've been putting together one of the most elaborate, well, definitely the most elaborate Halloween display that I've ever seen, one of the most elaborate in the country. And Jeff, you said you started it 10 years ago. Every year you add on to it. Because I know this is bigger than the last time I came here. This fellow right behind me here, this is a new addition, you were telling me, right?
Yeah.
What is this right here?
Well, he's an animated driver for our hearse, so his head turns and his eyes light up, and he does a little speech about the Davis Graveyard to all the visitors.
Now, what amazes me is that you put all this together. I mean, you know, there are some Halloween places where you can buy all these things, but you put this all together, so you have to be an expert in construction and, I don't know, robotics and all this stuff. And then you got to deal with it when it rains in Oregon, of course. Just tell me, any idea how many hours, if you had to estimate, how many hours have you put to rest here at the Davis Graveyard in terms of work?
Hundreds and hundreds of hours.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Now, the cool thing is obviously you've been welcoming folks throughout October, but tonight, Halloween, you've got some fun stuff on tap, right?
Right. The Milwaukee High School dancers do a dance to the Thriller number from Michael Jackson in the driveway. They'll do it all night tonight from about 6 to 9 p.m.
Very cool. And where are you located real quickly in Milwaukee?
8703 Southeast 43rd on the corner of Johnson Creek and 43rd.
For more info, go to kptv.com. All right, Pete, next time you see me, I'm going to have my Halloween costume on, and I have a little partner this year. I'm not going to give too much away, but there's a little theme, a little duo. We'll see that coming up a little bit later in the show. We'll turn it back to you in the studio.
Everyone's asking, Joe, when is when's Joe's costume going to appear? Everyone's
Next segment. Next segment.
All right, we're waiting for the big reveal. Okay, thank you,
okay.
sir. All right, 6:56 is the time. Time now for this morning's quick cast. Is what you need to know before you head out the door. KPTV's Mark.
Good day or
Is live from Milwaukee to tell us about the Davis Graveyard. Boo, Joe.
And Pete, I've been trying to tell my date, little Sienna here, that little orphan Annie never actually had a binky, but she doesn't seem to care. It's become part of the costume now. But hey, I got to give a little shout out. Actually, this is from Costume Avenue in Beaverton, where we did our shot a couple weeks ago, and they put it together, and I think she looks cute, but I'm a little biased. What can I say? And hey, here's a guy who thinks that his front yard looks pretty darn cool. That's Mr. Jeff Davis. He is the man behind the Davis Graveyard. Jeff, as we were saying, recently named by the Today Show, voters on the Today Show online, that this is the coolest Halloween setup in the country, right?
Yep, that's what they said.
Very cool. All right, so for people who haven't seen it, let's go around and show. This is your front yard here. We drove up today, and the person who was with me said, wait, now, is this a graveyard, or does somebody actually live here? Tell us how many tombstones you got here, first of all.
I think there's about 60.
Now, these are ones that you've been doing this about 10 years, and you just kind of built this up over the years, or what?
Yeah. Keep on adding more tombstones and monuments and crypts and goofy stuff.
And okay, this dude back here, literally, I came up here, I thought that was a real guy. That's not a real guy back there, this dude?
No, that's our gravekeeper. He just kind of turns his head every once in a while and looks at everybody.
Very cool. So what will it be like here tonight? Tell us a little bit about what it's like here at the Davis Graveyard on Halloween.
The street will be closed off at both ends of the block, and it'll be full of people in costume and trick-or-treaters, and all the lights and video will be going.
Very cool stuff. And okay, so where are you located? Because it's open to anybody to come out and check out the display, right? And you're welcoming trick-or-treaters, obviously.
Right. It's on the corner of Johnson Creek Boulevard and Southeast 43rd.
Very cool. And for more information on the Davis Graveyard, just go to kptv.com. And we've got even more spooky stuff to show you coming up a little bit later in the show. Right now, it's Joe V. You're watching Good Day Oregon, first live local.
Friday Night Lights.